What's up, guys? So we've brought you to Popolo Square in Italy, Rome, to look at the Illuminati symbols, because this church right behind us here, there is one of the Illuminati members actually buried in here. His name Alexander Chigi, and he was from a big family that supported the Illuminati like all of their lives, right the way through, and his tomb is right in here. This square, which his family helped to fund, to build, holds a lot of symbols connected with Masonic and Illuminati. So we're going to take a look around and film some of those symbols for you, and then we're going to run Spirit Talker and see if we get any unusual messages to come through. So first of all, I'm going to point out above the arch door at the top there, first Illuminati symbol is star, and then underneath those, that arrangement of stones shaped like into a pointed towards the star shape, as in like the pyramids. Okay, so this guy Chigi is buried right behind us in this church, right here, where me and Andy are stood right now. And the other thing that we've noticed while we've been doing this Illuminati trip is an obelisk. There's always an obelisk.
Always. In
the area, so right behind Andy there is the obelisk. There was an obelisk at the Vatican, there's an obelisk last night at the Pantheon, and there's an obelisk here, and there's an obelisk, there's one in Paris, there's one in London, and there's also one George Washington's obelisk in Washington DC. So there seems to be some kind of pattern going on here.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a walk about. We've just got a Spirit Talker message through, so we'll just see what that says. If it bears any relation to what we're doing right now, Illuminati.
Attic Heights.
Attic Heights?
Attic Heights.
I'll just show you this door, guys. It's showing what is known as the Stations of the Cross. You know, Jesus taking his cross up to Calvary. People from the Catholic Church will understand the Stations of the Cross. I was brought up in the Catholic Church, so the Stations of the Cross basically represent Christ's journey on the way up to Calvary, and you stop and light a candle at each one and you pray at each one. So that's basically the paneling on the door is the Stations of the Cross, and also there's a second door which I presume will be the rest of the Stations of the Cross. We'll take a look. What message did you get then? Can you stay a while? Yes, we can stay a while. So Alexander Chigi, if you're here, we would like to speak to you about your role in the Illuminati family. Is there anything you could tell us? You know, there's any story? Because I believe they used to meet underground in a private secret location. And I'm beginning to think now that these obelisks could be markers of where they used to meet, if there's tunnels underneath the obelisks. Right. These obelisks are turning up like everywhere we go where there's Illuminati symbols, so they must have some connection to, you know, what's going on here.
I get the feeling that the four churches they're all significant at some point. They're all north, south, east, west. Right?
It's like the four fountains near Trevor.
The fountains, each fountain, the ones that were in the boot, they were found, all signified earth, fire and water. And that's what the ones who died were branded with. Earth, fire and water. Obviously them are the elements. So each one was murdered, each one was killed and branded with that. The same way as they brand. She likes you.
Alright, so let's take a look around this square, and we're going to take a look if we can find any other Illuminati symbols that might be, you know, their relevance. So if anybody's familiar...
I was so scared.
You want to go through the arches? Yeah, sure. So anybody who's familiar with...
Can you stay a while?
Really? So we are picking the right locations then?
So I keep saying, can you stay a while? Yeah. Well, you need to be telling me something. If you want
The
me
witch
to...
is here.
The witch is here?
The witch is here.
Really?
Chiesa di Santa Maria del Popolo. It says it on that sign.
Yeah, so this is the right church now then.
Might be the one.
This is where Alexander Chigi is buried. His tomb has got all kinds of significant symbols on it, but we can't, not allowed to film in churches right here, guys, obviously for respect purposes. The closest we can get is outside the door. So he's buried in there, and he was one of the Illuminati, and his family were the Illuminati family. So they were related to this group, which has now grown throughout the years over the world. It started in Bavaria. And it's multiplied, and now it's in America. Mostly America is a very big Illuminati country now.
Yeah.
They control all the money in the world, they control the banking systems, they have a lot of power, and obviously right here, the Vatican Bank, they must control the Vatican Bank as well by now.
I think originally it started off as artists, painters, scientists, philosophers.
Deep thinkers.
People who were...
People who are trying to figure out the universe.
People who... Because in that times, the only people who were allowed to think and have an opinion were either kings and queens or members of the church. Because up until a certain time, your common man wasn't even allowed to read the Bible.
Yeah.
He had to be told it. He had to go to church to be able to. Yeah. And that obviously changed because, but.
And you think.
And that's basically why they had to go underground, and they had meetings.
Which I think the obelisk
more and more deeper, and then thank you for respect.
Oh right, that's interesting. Thank you for respect. So that's because we're understanding what the movement was all about, and perhaps in a different life, centuries ago, we'd have been part of the Illuminati movement because the alchemists, you know, funny. Well, the thing is, Andy and I are present-day pagan witches, so I guess we would have been like part of this group of free thinkers who are trying to prove what the universe really is.
And I think at the end of the day, we're both two people who don't accept what a lot of the time, or what we're told. We will look for it. I mean, not conspiracy theories, but we accept that what we're told isn't always what the truth is.
Yeah.
You know? It's been known for a long time that the people in authority lie to you. You know, people say, oh no, they wouldn't do that. Yes, they would. And it's been a well-known fact that certain things over the years have happened, and you think, you know.
So the Chigi family actually built that arch door behind you as well, so there's some symbolic, the star at the top. So let's take a walk around the square because they were responsible for paying for a lot of the stuff that got built in this square. So there's the Leonardo da Vinci Museum, and he was also one of the Illuminati members. I just found a bit of information about the church here. What's it saying there?
A medieval walnut tree. Legend, the walnut tree infested by devils in the guise of crows rose from the ashes of the Emperor Nero. The ashes were kept in the tomb of the Dominicans on the slope of hill in Leicester. In 1099, with aim of exercising and giving thanks for the liberation of Jews.
Yeah. So it was basically...
In 1513, Raphael started work on the Admiral Chigi Chapel. In 1620.
So it was actually built to ward off evil, this church, guys, because they must have thought there was a lot of demonic practices going on in this area. We're going to walk about and take a look at some of the Roman statues that are still here, because before the church started building the churches here, it was actually a Roman temple. So we're going to go over there and have a look. at what was the Roman temple. Andy's running Spirit Talker behind me. So let's go and take a look at some of these ancient Roman statues that are still here from the time. So, anyone who's familiar with the book Angels and Demons by Dan Brown, or not familiar with it, the movie Angels and Demons by Dan Brown, it's all about this. It's all about this, you know, these families in Italy that started off the Illuminati, and all the symbolism that's around still today. I'm just going to film some of the architecture, show people these fountains and things. There's a lot of Egyptian sphinxes, but they do think that the Romans took those from Egypt and helped themselves and brought them back here. There's a lot of beautiful fountains. I think there's 50 major fountains and about 200 or more smaller ones. So these would have been the original part of the original Roman temple. And some of the temples did get destroyed. Some of them parts were took away to build the churches, and the rest of the architecture is still right here. So there's a lot of these beautiful fountains with Roman architecture, and then the fountain below. Italy, Rome especially, is full of them. Did you get any more message through on there?
You're safe here.
You're safe here. So this whole square then was... This whole square, probably. Well, there would have been a Roman temple here, I think.
At
one point.
It's funny how there's two churches here.
There's two churches, yeah, side by side. But that's definitely the one that the Alexander Chigi, the Illuminati person, is buried in there. He's got his crypt in there and everything, and apparently by his crypt there's two pyramids.
Yeah.
Now, we're not allowed to film in churches here, understandably. It's, you know, for respect and what have you, but we can tell you what is inside those churches. Now, in the Robert Langdon book, the film, they break in at the back of that church. They find a tunnel and they get in. They're not allowed in, but they do actually get in the film and in the book. But there's like another chapel over there as well. Should we have a walk over to that chapel and see if that has any connection to this chapel here? Because they could belong to the same family. Maybe they extended it and the family buried Harriet. So we've got two churches here, and then we've got two identical churches there. So what is the significance of these churches coming in pairs like this? Do you think it's that north, south, east, west thing that you was talking about before?
Yeah, because they were very good. A lot of them were alchemists, thinkers, believed in manifest.
Manifest? Who's going to manifest?
You know,
I'd love the name Alexander or Chigi to come through, because then I know it's him.
You had
buried in there.
They were great thinkers in that way of changing things by magic. They were very, very good. And obviously at the time, anybody believed in that church who would sort of get people to think any other way than there was one God. God created the earth, and that was it. But these people said, actually, no, this is how it happened. This is how creation happened. I mean, remember Darwin when he came out of with his theory, his book, you know, what was it? Just something of man.
Origin of Man.
The origin of man. I mean, the guy was absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
For writing that. But now, people just go, oh, yeah.
People are still disputing the Darwin theory though.
And everybody comes to the conclusion that life on this planet was formed through some sort of scientific explosion, which is what they're trying to do in Hadron Collider in Switzerland.
We got that name through the other day. Let's go over and check out again these churches, because Alexander Chigi, who has his tomb in here, has actually got the solar system carved along the side of the tomb. So he was a big believer in like studying the universe. You know.
The roll.
The what? The roll. Let's go over to that church. Because sometimes these families, when they had one church like that and the family were all buried in there, they extended and built a second one, so it's possibly this could be an extension to that one.
That side is the same as that.
Yeah. Do you want to look at the carvings on the side and see if they make any, there's anything, any clues or anything like that to look at? Let's go and see the carvings, what they've carved on the side of it. Look, a pyramid. I can see it there. It's like the American dollar one.
Yeah.
Can you see it? Let's just go and zoom in on that. Right. So some clues are right here. Some clues are right here. No, it's there. Right, we're going to zoom in on this, guys. Now these are all... Yeah, let's just zoom in and we can show everybody what we're talking about. So there, can you see that there, the pyramid? Like what is found on the top of the American dollar bill with the eye. Yeah? And then just move along and see what else there is. So...
Thank you for listening.
And there's some carved faces there as well, aren't there? That's interesting. So really, that's like it's the pyramid on the American dollar and a book beneath it. A book of what? Secrets? Is it the part of the Bible that's just disappeared, that's not been printed yet? Never got printed? And that's interesting, that. So this is the kind of symbology we need to look out for. It looks as though it's under some sort of construction at the back, so we might not be able to actually get in, but we're going to study these panels around the side now, because I think that there's some
interesting to see
messages here.
Is it on that other one? That other
over there?
Both of them. All the same.
Yeah. That's interesting, that then. So there is...
That is there.
But I do think these obelisks, these Egyptian obelisks here, they keep turning up in these like marker points for where the Illuminati are buried.
But why would that be there?
Because he was Illuminati, he was a family.
That's what I mean. So
do you know what I mean? Let's go and look at the other one and see what that...
Because they're both similar buildings, they're both built the same, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, thank you for listening again.
So we keep getting the message, thank you for listening. So it's as if someone's understanding the reason that why we're doing this program. Let's just head over there because we've got a lot of tourists, foot traffic coming along right now. Don't want to get tangled up. End up somewhere else. Oh, me and Andy, you know what we're like, you know already, right? What happened tonight to us? Come on, we need to tell the guys. So we broke the shower door, yeah, and Andy broke the safe, so we had to get hotel management up to repair the stuff for us. We haven't been thrown out yet, but we're working on it. We're working on it. Yeah, look at that face there. It's like a theatre face, you know, the tragedy.
But if you look at that one on the right, the small one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
That's the writing thing that's hidden underneath.
yeah. Yeah.
Two ones.
Two ones.
Just one more for kind of stuff all. You know what I mean?
It is like magical stuff, but a mask, would they have worn a mask for their rituals, do you think?
Well, probably, yeah.
So it's the mask, the ones.
Hide who they were.
Yeah, the pestles.
In case there was...
the writings. And that, look at that there, that face. That's like a theatre mask, isn't it? Tragedy. Well, that's got some musical instruments, and you know what it's got as well else there? Mathematical things, you know, for studying mathematics. It is, yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it?
Design of a dome. It's like a drawing of somebody's designing a dome.
Designing a dome, really? Oh, really? Yeah, there is. Just let me zoom in on that, guys, and you can see somebody's actually sketching a dome. Yeah, so that's interesting. Let's see what we've got on this third panel. I'm seeing some musical instruments on this one. This one's actually open, but the police are looking out, so perhaps we better not film too much there.
It's because it's the Carabinieri station.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's why then. Let's not film the police. We've not been in trouble with them yet. We've had a couple of disasters, but They look like musical instruments, don't they, on that one?
But two buildings there, there's no religious symbol. It's all... When you got to go on that.
We probably can film it now from here, because they look like musical instruments, don't they? Some of them, there's like a trumpet, like a saxophone there, or one of them coiled trumpets. Yeah.
I'm glad we found that. That's exactly the same as...
So that's the church, so that's where he's buried in there. Alexander Chigi, one of the members of the Illuminati, very, very prosperous and very important man around Rome. His family had a lot of wealth and plowed a lot of money into developing Rome as it is.
And the thing is, a lot of these people who are connected with the Illuminati are down as grandmasters of the so-called prayer routes. I don't know whether that exists or not. Are people who protect what they call protect God's power on earth. Now, a lot of people presume that means, a lot of people originally thought it meant the Holy Grail, which I think we've all dismissed that isn't it. Some people have come to the conclusion that it's Christ's bloodline, and the people around here today. Now I've given that some thought, and I thought there cannot be just one person alive who's...
No, there can't be.
There's going to be millions.
Yeah, of course there is.
There's going to be millions. So I think it's something else. Protection of God's power on earth. In other words, it could be science.
Yeah.
And these people are protecting knowledge and power. The source of God's power on earth. What is the source of God's power?
Well, several.
The source of God's power on earth.
Nature, I would think.
Fire and water.
Yeah, but also I think God's power comes through like trees and water and ocean and animals and that kind of thing, natural things.
So,
let's take a walk over there and look at those other churches.
I mean, I dare say if you asked every person in this area now what they think the source of God's power on earth is, you'd probably get everybody give you a different answer. So that's my personal view, but I look at it from my beliefs. People would look at it from other beliefs, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
You know.
And we arrived back at no one really knows the truth, do they?
What's in my hand? This.
Explain it.
Obviously somebody scientific. This is a device for talking to people a long, long way away. So I'm in Rome now. I could press some numbers into this device and speak to somebody in England within a couple of seconds. All the things you used to do by hand, writing, sending letters, I can do on this device. I can hear voices on this device. I can send messages on this device. I can listen to music on this device. I can even hear your voice. Not hear your voice, but I can hear a message from you. And you want to give me a message and try. Infant.
The hotel manager wanted to give us a message before. Stop being a pair of pillocks and breaking things. Just get on with your holiday.
Infant. That come in.
Infant Jesus.
Infant as in we're in infants in this area.
I think it's referring to an infant, like Jesus have a child.
A message.
One of the theories.
More significant. Will you give us a message? I mean, you did last night. You know.
So the infant Jesus, or Jesus had infants?
The two churches over there that are planned.
Let's go over there and see these churches, because it always amazes me why you have identical churches side by side like that.
Yeah, they're identical. I don't think they're identical with the statues on the top.
Let's just see if there's any angels pointing, because a lot of the stuff in Da Vinci Code and Angels of Demons is angels pointing the way and giving the clue. And the person that Dan Brown based his Professor Robert Langdon character on was a real person called John Langdon, who helped give him all the symbology information to write those books and to create those movies.
And in the Da Vinci Code, the guy who in McKellen plays, Lee Teabing, is an anagram of the three blokes who wrote Holy Blood, Holy Grail.
Oh, really?
Which is obviously Dan Brown who researched that thing to write and come to this and do a film of and write a book, coming to the same conclusion. A lot of it that is based on that. It doesn't go into as much. If you've read the Da Vinci Code and you're not interested in it, get the book Holy Blood, Holy Grail. It's a long book, but stick with it from start to finish, and you'll see.
What was that?
My death was peaceful.
My death was peaceful.
Stick with it to the end. And
whose death are we talking to? Alexander Chigi, the Illuminati man that's buried right here in this square. Secrets surround my death.
Secrets surrounding my death. Oh.
Everything was secretive with the Illuminati. It still is.
What was secrets surrounding your death? Did they not tell the truth about your death?
Were you killed?
What can you tell us who we're talking to?
Well, he said he died peacefully. So was he poisoned then? Because I mean, all right. Well, would it be a peaceful death of poisoning? I don't know. I guess it's how.
Peaceful, but there were secrets surrounding his death.
Maybe the burial was secret.
Your body moved for reasons.
Well, they did move Raphael's body.
Scar.
Raphael was buried somewhere else, and then they moved into the Pantheon after that. So.
Can you give us your name? Can you give us?
Excuse me, guys.
Significant message, or a significant sign, or point us to a direction where you would like us to go to get this story out more.
Did you know the Medici family? I've got a feeling they had a big part to play in all of this Illuminati stuff.
Wants us to go over to do.
Let's go over to those churches anyway. There's a reason why they're there.
Is there a reason why you want us to go over there?
But these angels, look at this one here. Is this pointing to something? Or is he just holding something in his hand? It's actually one of the It's actually one of the Roman columns, so it probably won't bear any relation to this story. That was already here. The Roman things were already here because it was the remains of a temple. I don't think that's going to be any significance. These statues are the ones that are important on the tops here of these buildings. Like, if they're pointing, then there's a possibility that they're giving a clue of some sort. No. So I think the clue is going to be in that Santa Maria Church, Santa Maria Popolo Square Church, where the Illuminati man is actually buried.
It's funny how that wasn't open. He will touch you. He will touch me. Oh, yeah.
Well, we can't film inside anyways. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to.
I know.
We could take a look at the tomb and then let people know what is there, if there are significant things.
It wasn't open before. It wasn't open today.
So perhaps they keep it shut and only open it on special occasions then, but all that over there was the Roman temple. All of that there is the remains of the Roman temple. So the Roman temple would have filled this entire square. The needle, well, there's two different theories about these needles from Egypt. One is that Cleopatra gave them as a gift when she wanted to join up Egypt with Rome to become a more powerful country herself. The other theory is that the Romans just helped themselves to obelisks and brought them home, brought them here anyway as a gifts and things. But are those obelisks a special marker? Are they marking underground tunnels where the Illuminati would have met, because it's very strange, don't you think? We've been in London and there's an obelisk there on the embankment. We've been to Paris, there's an obelisk there. We've been all over this city and there's obelisks everywhere where there is connections with the Illuminati and stuff. And there's George Washington had an obelisk put in Washington Square there, right where the Capitol building is, which hopefully we're going to get over and see that next year. Because there's a reason why these obelisks are placed where they are. There's something significant about them. I think anyway there is something significant about them.
Every church or area that's connected with it always has that in the middle.
Yeah, it does.
Now it just seems strange that there's one in there and an obelisk with all those symbols. It's a pagan symbol.
Yeah, they are pagan
So
symbols. Let's have a look at that obelisk a bit better. Now these are from Egypt, they weren't made here and put up here, they're actually brought from Egypt. They're actually real obelisks with real hieroglyphics, with real messages carved down the side.
Object 15.
What, is that a message?
It says object and then 15.
Object 15? Are there 15 obelisks?
That's what Anna. Yeah.
Well, there is a Santa Anna, maybe there's a Santa Anna church. Object 15, did it say?
Object. And then it said 15, so maybe there's 15 of them.
I'll be interested if there is 15 obelisks. Either here in Rome or like at major locations around the world.
Various special locations around the world where
15 obelisks.
that would be interesting.
We need to look that up. That would be interesting. Somebody's prattling on down my ear. Shall we move along?
Yeah.
See, the thing is, yeah, let's go and take a look at that. Yeah, so obviously with this being one of the world's most famous cities, it's like you've got all these different tour groups going around with all different languages going on, and you end up crossing paths with all these different, people hot-footing it here and there. So, yeah, and there's people selling roses like crazy as well.
So
He's going to end up wearing them roses. If somebody tries selling me another rose today, let's not get mowed down. It's not cool to get mowed down. Let's ignore the rose, man, and let's go straight to the church and continue filming the story. How? Well, what were we asking last? What was our last question?
how many obelisks?
How many obelisks?
And where?
And why? Why the obelisk? There's obviously a reason why they're putting them in these locations where there are Illuminati people are buried. It just seems too much of a coincidence to me that.
Yeah.
And what are all these books that the Vatican have got tucked away? Books belonging to these people, probably.
Well, there's probably secrets in them, but in people's diaries and manuscripts and things that they wrote, there's probably hidden messages in some of these books. There'll be hidden messages.
Yeah.
And maybe why they probably employ people to try and break those codes.
Probably do, yeah.
For a reason, because they maybe see stuff hidden away and stuff. Use camera.
That restaurant at the back there is the Rosati, where Robert Langdon actually had his iced coffee whilst he was studying this particular square. I don't know whether they used it in the movie or not with Tom Hanks, but they definitely in the book used it.
You see, these people obviously connected with the Knights Templar whose treasures they never ever found. So maybe some of these manuscripts that were in there, they've got people employed to look through these manuscripts to try and find some sort of code somewhere.
Maybe.
To find this whatever, throne.
As in throwing something. Well, it is a mystery. I mean, there are some good books published on the Illuminati, but still it remains a mystery. Should we go over there and have a look at those Roman ruins before we wrap up? Because then we've seen the whole square. Yeah, so it's some Roman ruins over there, guys. That's from when it was originally a temple. So all those ruins over there. The lights are coming on now, look. All those ruins over there. Are from when it was originally a temple.
Yeah.
And we were at the top of there today, didn't we, Andy? Right at the top up there. We were there at the viewpoint having a look.
Yeah.
Where those people have stood up there. We went up there this afternoon.
Stomach throw.
Oh, it's a very intriguing subject, isn't it? This Illuminati subject. It's a very intriguing subject. Yeah, I'm glad we found it. There's so many churches in Rome. It's hard to pinpoint exactly the one you want sometimes, isn't it? You have to go back 2 or 3 times to make sure you've got the right one.
Nice.
But that up there above the arch door that's on, that's like, well, it's a 6-pointed, 8-pointed star, isn't it? But the stones at the bottom, there's 3, then 2, then 1. They're like building a pyramid. So they think that that gate was paid for by this family that were buried in this vault here, the Chigis. So it's as if they've built this architecture and left symbols behind to show that they are. Yeah, maybe. They are doing some construction work.
Look at that star there.
Yeah, I'll just zoom in on it and the guys know what we're talking about.
Underneath, what do you see?
Well, they reckon it's a pyramid, don't they? Because there's 3 stones, then 2, then 1 building upwards representing like a pyramid.
I'm seeing something different.
What are you seeing?
I'm seeing a man sat behind 3 mountains.
Really? Okay.
The head under the star.
Yeah.
You've got shoulders.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Maybe.
Behind either 3 hills or 3 mountains. Get out and leave.
Does that mean we've got something right? Does that mean we've figured something out that we're not supposed to know?
Have I thought something?
Have we put our finger on something there?
3 hills.
Well, everything comes in 3s, doesn't it, in the Christian church? Yeah. God the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. There's 3 crucifixes on the top there at the front over the door.
All I can see there is
3 crucifixes. There's 1 there, but there's 3 over the main door. 1, 2, 3. The number 3 is very significant in the Christian world. Perhaps we've tapped on something that we're not meant to know about.
Oh, that's somebody stood behind.
3, like you say, it does look like that, yeah, it does.
3 hills, 3 mountains.
Yeah.
Different.
It's what you call an optical illusion, isn't it? It looks like that, but it also represents the building of a pyramid of stones stacking up to one point, and then there's either the sun or a star up above. We'll just go back to it again, then you can see.
Now we go back to another thing. Somebody stood behind 3 pyramids. 3 pyramids of Giza.
3 pyramids of Giza, yeah, there is 3 pyramids at Giza.
So, and a lot of occult material is based on Egyptian stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
What's this statue just by the church? Let's just take a look. I mean, it might just be part of the Roman temple, but just in case it is significant.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there is a lot of symbology around that church. It's the Santa Maria Church at Popolo Square, but also it's known as the Chigi crypt, the Chigi mausoleum.
Pyramids are everywhere.
But that one was like the American dollar bill.
It was like that.
So why is it on the American dollar bill?
We all seen the Eye of Horus.
This one up here that we looked at earlier.
Why is it under the Eye of Horus and there?
Yeah.
Embedded into a sun.
This one is just like the one on the American dollar bill.
It was under a mystical boot.
Yeah, and a mystical book.
A mystical boot, right?
That's Illuminati, that's an Illuminati sign, 100% it is. So we found at least one tomb with a something symbolic carved. Yeah, this statue goes back to ancient Rome, so I'm thinking perhaps it's got nothing to do with...
Where is my body? It's well, as far as I know.
It should be in there, it should be in the tomb, but what if it isn't?
It may not be.
What if they moved it for protection?
Definitely.
Because they moved Raphael. He was buried somewhere else and then they moved him and buried him in the Pantheon. So how do we know? So we're going to continue this quest this week. We've got 3 more locations to do to find out some more symbols and stuff.
Yeah, it's mad. There's a lot.
Yeah.
I think now it's just newly cleaned up and preserved.
Do you think so?
That's clean. That's...
Well, the Illuminati might be looking after it, might they, and paying for it to keep it preserved so that, you know. Well, there are definitely symbols there and messages relating to the Illuminati and, you know, the things that they believed in, which was astronomy.
It's under that room. It's like that root's on the top. There's a sheet underneath, and it's just covering something. Not only that, there's like part of the scepter king, and then there's a big key.
Yeah, there's a big key.
Big key.
What was that message then?
It's nice to talk again.
So, but when we come down this end of the square, they seem happy that we're talking about this stuff. And when we go that end of the square, we're getting more negative messages. So, I guess the person who's buried here is quite happy that we're talking about this stuff because it's keeping it alive, isn't it? What they believed in, astronomy and science and all of that. We're keeping it going by talking about it.
Interesting, to say the least, and I think, but then again, the more you dig deeper into this stuff, and the more you dig, I think that's when you get to a point where people start noticing what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, if you were studying it all the time, you'd get people following you.
People notice
Probably.
what you're doing with it.
If you were studying
And
it all the
how
time,
you get into it because, yeah, in the days of what we're talking about with these people, it was what it was, and now it's a secret society.
yeah. Sorry, coming for a week.
Secret society that we're not invited.
No, definitely not.
You know, and never ever will be.
Oh no, never.
You know, and we'll never find out who they are. But
if we got too close.
Angel hierarchy.
Angel hierarchy. Well, that will go be like Gabriel, Uriel, Michael, Raphael, the archangels, won't it? To the next angels down.
The story goes that at the beginning of time, God's favourite angel was the angel of light.
Lucifer.
Was Lucifer, and he was the main one, and because he was disagreeing, he banished him. Little girl. And that's, but can you give me a name then if there's an angel hierarchy? Who
well, that
angels?
boulevard up back there is up the steps is called Angel Gabriel. The boulevard, you know, up there via Angel Gabriel. I noticed today it was called that. Yeah.
You know, when you're doing certain rituals, certain occult rituals, you use the four, as they call them, archangels, and each angel is a different point Am I correct?
Let's just move over here away from the traffic and stuff, and we can hear.
What?
Yeah, that where the steps are coming down up the palm trees. It's called Angel Gabriel Boulevard. That I picked up that today. We climbed up. We'll sit on this bench and then we can wrap it up here because we're going to run out of battery soon. Let's just sit here for a minute and just get another final view of the square. No, what? Have you seen something else? So that's the Roman temple, and then over there is the obelisk.
It's interesting. There's a lot of people going over there and sticking their heads to the wall.
Whereabouts? Oh, there. Yeah, they are, aren't
There was
they?
a guy who was doing it before.
So you must be able to hear something over
So
there then.
I don't.
I have no idea what that's all about.
Yeah, and I'm not going to stick in my head at all.
Oh,
I'll
no.
just look at pillow.
Yeah. So anyway, so
Yeah.
that's second location on the Illuminati tour this week. We'll head off to a third place tomorrow, and we'll try and piece together. We'll see if another obelisk turns up in the next location, because so far there's been an obelisk at each one.
But this is something now. After this and seeing these things and being here, it's something I'm going to start getting more into and researching a lot more and reading a lot more about it and getting more stuff about it, because
there's more to it than we know.
I want to get properly researched on it and find out more about it, and it's something that I think could be very, very interesting. Not just here, but other major cities around the world. And
we are going to go out to Washington DC next year.
I think it will be.
You know, that's.
Yeah.
This road back here is actually called George Washington Road. The one underneath the arch, sorry, it's actually called George Washington Road. So why is that called George Washington Road? Well, there's an obelisk right here. So next October 25, we're going to go out to Washington DC to do a little bit more of this on the American side.
Well, yeah, so definitely something I'm going to research more into.
We'll say goodnight to you guys now, and then we'll catch up with you at the next location. Okay, so thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. We're going to be back in the UK next week, and we'll continue the paranormal and everything else that people enjoy us to watch so much. And take care, and love you all, and subscribe. Do us a favour.
The light of illumination is coming.
And he's come as Leonardo da Vinci tonight, if anyone was wondering. That's his costume.
No. Bye.